Most people were never taught how money actually works. They were taught how to work for it, how to chase it, how to trade their hours, their energy, their entire lives for just enough to keep chasing. And that's the system working exactly as designed. Because the truth is, the way the rich think about money isn't just different, it's the exact opposite of what you were taught. You were taught to see money as a reward for effort. They see it as a tool for ownership. You were taught to spend what you earn and save what's left. They were taught to earn from what they already own and never rely on saving alone. And until you see this invisible reversal, you'll keep playing a game that was built for you to lose. Let's break it open. Most financial education for the masses revolves around discipline. Budget your expenses, cut your lattes, build an emergency fund. But this isn't how wealth is built. This is how stability is maintained, at the bottom. Because at the top, the game is played differently. It's not about working harder, it's about positioning yourself where wealth flows, regardless of how hard you work. The rich focus on capital positioning, asset leverage, access to systems that multiply, protect, and recycle money without relying on personal labor. This is why two people can make the same income, and yet one remains stuck, while the other builds generational wealth. It's not income, it's access, it's movement, it's control. Let's look at the first hidden reversal. Most people are taught to accumulate money and hold it, save it, protect it from loss. But the rich, they move it. They circulate it into vehicles that produce more capital, real estate, private businesses, tax-advantaged investments. They don't see cash as security, they see assets as security. Cash is just a temporary parking spot. That's why when the masses hoard savings in a bank, the rich are using that same bank to borrow at low interest, invest in appreciating assets, and let inflation quietly erode the savers' buying power. You were taught to fear debt. They were taught to master it. Because debt, when used strategically, is a lever. It allows control of larger assets with less personal capital. It allows tax optimization. It allows scalability that raw savings never will. This is the first system reversal the rich know, and you weren't told. The second reversal, control over cash flow. The masses are employees. They receive income last, after taxes, fees, and deductions. They can't control the flow. They get paid, then pay their bills. But the wealthy? They structure themselves to receive income first. Through businesses, trusts, and entities, they control the flow, they decide how and when to pay taxes, they decide what gets reinvested, expensed, or protected. It's not illegal, it's not a loophole, it's a system you were never shown. This is why the rich think in terms of entities, not paychecks, structures, not salaries, cash flow ecosystems, not jobs. Before we keep going, if this is cracking open new insights for you, hit the like button so more people see this. And if you want more videos that reveal what the system never taught you, hit subscribe. Now let's expose the third reversal. Most people are told to think in terms of income goals, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year. The rich think in terms of asset-backed leverage. What assets can produce income, regardless of their labor? That's why they acquire ownership of businesses, of patents, of royalties, of systems that produce recurring, scalable, protected income streams. They don't sell their time, they sell access, control, and licensing. This is why the wealthy don't get richer by working more hours. They get richer by expanding their ownership of systems that scale independently. If you only think in terms of income, you will always be stuck in the game of earning to spend. They think in terms of ownership to scale. Here's the fourth reversal. Most people are taught to optimize for stability, get a stable job, buy a house, lock in predictability. But the rich, they optimize for optionality, liquidity, flexibility. They position their money so it can move when opportunities appear. They don't get emotionally attached to stability, they stay agile, ready to deploy capital when others are frozen. That's why during economic downturns, when the masses are panicking, the wealthy are acquiring assets at discounts. Because they kept their capital liquid, leveraged, and mobile, not locked up in emotional purchases disguised as security. And now the fifth and most dangerous reversal. You were taught to see money as the finish line, a number to hit, a goal to chase. But the rich, they see money as a scoreboard, a measuring stick for resource control, a lever for influence, access, and insulation from systemic risk. They never stop playing the game, because they understand, money isn't the goal, it's the infrastructure that allows them to play by different rules. Rules you were never invited to learn. That's why the financial education you were given was never about control. It was about compliance. Because if you stay focused on budgeting, saving, and discipline, you'll never have the resources or positioning to question the system itself. And that's the uncomfortable truth. You weren't taught to use money like the rich, because the system needs you to stay a participant, not a player. Participants obey the rules. Players design them. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. But before we close, let's bring this into focus. You were never really taught how to use money. You were taught how to obey it, to fear it, to chase it, to spend it when told, save it when scared, and hope it would be enough. That was never an accident, it was by design. Because if you see money as the finish line, you never notice the people who built the track, the ones who positioned themselves above the race, the ones who used money not as a goal, but as the infrastructure that lets them play by rules you were never shown. And that's the truth most people never see. You weren't losing because you were bad with money. You were playing a game where the rules were hidden. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. In the next video, we'll break down exactly how to shift from participant to player, even if you're starting with nothing. Because this isn't about chasing wealth. It's about reclaiming your position at the table where the real game is played. If this gave you something to think about, like the video so more people see it, and if you want more real, no-fluff videos like this, hit subscribe. The videos on this channel are for educational and entertainment purposes only. They do not constitute financial, legal, business, or lifestyle advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making changes to your finances, legal situation, or personal routines. Always do your own research before making monetization decisions. The views expressed are based on publicly available research and emerging technologies at the time of publication, and may change over time.